Some unfortunate news coming out of Sounders training camp here at Lumen Field today. Brian Schmetzer confirmed that Pedro de la Vega did suffer a setback in his quest to come back on the field after he was practicing very well. But João Paulo is ready to play as the Sounders are set to take on Cascade rivals Vancouver Whitecaps. Here's what Schmetzer and Albert Rusnak have to say about the game.
João Paulo's starting, but everybody knows that.
Brian, John Wooden had the famous saying, be quick, but don't hurry. How does that kind of relate to, the messaging of your team? You need that start.
Yeah, I mean, John Wooden was a great coach. Do we say it a little bit differently? Sure. I want the team to start well, start fast. But yeah, not in a rush, not making rush decisions on the field in those moments. But the game has to slow down for some of the young kids that are playing minutes. They will get there. It's just experience. And then the senior guys have to, play how they know how to play.
And you've talked about possession being the key to get the first and secondary runners. And how important, again, in transition is that going to be against a Vancouver team?
Well, look, the balance of transition versus possession is always key. It's always critical. We've always been a good possession team. We press higher up the field. You win the ball, you're closer to goal. And then, starting with Steph and Jackson and our build out and our 3-2. I mean, we're a pretty good possession team too. We just need to find the right balance. Each game's different, Maz. I don't know what Vancouver's going to bring, but they're obviously feeling pretty good about themselves. Let's see how high they press. Maybe the game opens up more. That's okay. What would I call it? A new injury, same hamstring, a little bit lower down the leg. We'll get a full report after we get a full weekend assessment. We're sending some MRIs out to make sure that we got it all down. But it's a new injury, same leg. The severity, I'll let you guys know again next week.
It kind of applies to the finishing too for your team. I mean, in general. I mean,
Yeah.
So what have you seen in the last couple of weeks or few weeks that suggests that they're getting better, working at it right here at finishing? Because that was one of the issues you mentioned earlier.
Well, in those moments, it has to just happen with them naturally, cerebrally. Kevin De Bruyne the other day for Man City got a ball tight angle. He just stops and he looks up. He sees the goalkeeper like this, and he just hits it over his head. Those are instinctual moments where our players know how to do that. Raul, Jordan, when he goes on one-on-one, sometimes you see him dink the ball over the goalies. Those things happen, and the players just have to make those plays.
Yeah. So, it's nice to get players back, especially with the amount of injuries we started the season.
Yeah.
Not what we wanted and not ideal, but we're slowly starting to get players back, which obviously helps the group, it helps the team, and João, experienced player, runs that midfield with and without the ball, and is an important piece, to our squad. So it's a boost for everyone.
What his presence? What does it do for you specifically in the transition game, and then also in the offensive end?
Yeah, maybe I don't have to run as much back, but no, it's he's great at winning the ball back, calm on the ball, and he looks for those kind of passes, into the spaces where I play, where Christian comes, and into those soft areas, kind of, So he's definitely one of the players that will look to play that ball, and that's what we attacking players want, So that's one of many things that he'll bring for the game tomorrow.
So I think your strategy is as soon as you get that ball in transition, it's supposed to be forward and within 3 seconds, right? So is that what you're saying? You now have to be quicker and ready to...
You kind of have to anticipate that moment that he will win the ball or somebody will win the ball, and then, we kind of already have to be in that position, because if... we always say we want to be proactive and not reactive. So, especially for the game tomorrow and the way Vancouver plays, winning the ball and playing forward right away is one of the things that we'll try and do.
All right, there you had it. Brian Schmetzer, Albert Rusnak just talking about the task at hand and what's needed for the Sounders to get back on the winning track here, because the Whitecaps are coming off a 3-1 loss to the LA Galaxy, who LA Galaxy lead the Western Conference and are just 2 points ahead of the Vancouver Whitecaps. So the Whitecaps are going to come here looking to get back on the winning track as they look to stay abreast along with the LA Galaxy for first place in the Western Conference Finals. From Lumen Field, I'm Asvita Maria for the Cascadia Sports.net report.